Hello everyone, my name is Mariah and welcome to Yoga with Mariah. As you can see, I'm in a different environment. I'm in a beautiful Airbnb in Canada. So this will be fun and interesting. So we're going to do a yoga sequence for your booty, your hamstrings, and your quadriceps. So you'll need 2 blocks, your yoga mat, and we will get started. All right, everyone. So the sun is shining through. We're going to have a beautiful practice today. So we're going to start laying on our backs in Baddha Konasana. So find your way onto your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the mat. And then bring the soles of the feet together and drop your knees out like a book, like you're opening up a book. So your knees are out to the side, soles of the feet together, rolling the inner thighs out, and letting gravity pull your knees down. Now, if this doesn't feel good to you, you're more than welcome to grab the blocks and place the blocks underneath your legs, just for a little bit of support and stability. We're gonna be here for a little bit, working on our breath. So place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Snuggle your shoulder blades down your back to lift the chest. And we'll do 3 inhalations and exhalations, in through the nose, out through the mouth. So inhale here, and exhale out all the air. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And come to regular breathing here, in through the nose, out through the nose. Even out the breath here, long deep breaths, long deep inhalations, long deep exhalations. And as we connect with our breath, we connect with our mind and our body. We become present here in this moment. And as we use our breath as an anchor, we stop the monkey mind. We stop our mind chatter. And we become present. We let go of our attachments. We let go of the past, the future. And we bring ourselves to this moment. Now, if Ujjayi is in your practice today, start cultivating that now by constricting the back of your throat on an inhalation and on your exhalation. And it should sound like a wave-like sound behind your throat. It's an audible sound. And just notice what you feel in your body. Blink your eyes gently open. Help your knees back to center, gently and slowly. Bring your knees towards your chest. Place one hand on each shin. Rock side to side, massaging your lower back. Then find some stillness here and place both hands on your right shin. Extend the left leg out towards the mat. Flex the left toes and press the left thigh bone down into the mat as you bring the right knee into the chest for Ekapada Uttanasana. Soften the navel towards the spine and gently press both shoulder blades and the back of your head into the mat. Take another breath here, and then exhale out all the air. Bring both legs back to center, so you're bringing the left knee towards the right. Place both hands on your left shin and extend the right leg out towards the mat. Flex the left toes, press the right thigh bone down into the mat, and bring the left knee into the chest. You're gently rolling that left hip forward and down, finding even length in your waists. Softening the belly into the spine. One more breath here. And then exhale out all the air. And bring your left knee into your chest. And then place both feet flat on the mat with your knees bent. We're going into bridge pose, but a variation of bridge so we can work on the glutes. So place both hands by your hips, palms face down for a little bit of stability. Now make sure that the feet are hips distance apart and parallel, and walk your heels towards your sit bones as close as you can. From here, you're going to inhale, press into your heels, lift your hips off the mat. And then from here in your bridge pose, I want you to lift your toes off the mat. So basically, you're only pressing into your heels. Pressing your shoulders into the mat as well, giving yourself a little support. And you can feel a little bit of a slight burn into your quadriceps. Now, from here, you're going to inhale, lower your hips about 3 to 4 inches down. Then exhale, lift your hips as high as possible, and then squeeze the glutes. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift your hips as high as you can, squeeze the glutes. And then inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more times. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. Place your toes back on the mat. And then lower your hips down. Bring your knees towards your chest for Apanasana. And then find your way into Happy Baby, grabbing the outside edges of your feet. Knees wider than your torso. Now, if this is too deep of a hip opener for Happy Baby for you, you can grab the backs of your knees. But bring your knees towards your armpits. Release the sacrum down towards the mat. One more breath here. And then bring both knees towards your chest. Roll off to the right side. And find your way into tabletop position. So find your way into tabletop position with your hands underneath your shoulders, with your wrists shoulder distance apart. Bring your knees hips distance apart with your knees hips distance apart. Wait, I already said that. Find a neutral spine here. And we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, and look up. Exhale, lift the belly in and up for cat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone. Exhale, press into your hands, spread your shoulder blades apart. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through the arms. Exhale, press in your hands, spread your shoulder blades apart, round your upper back. Then inhale, come back to center, find a neutral spine. Now we'll extend our right leg out, hip height, square the hips, point the toes down. Then extend the left arm out, shoulder height, thumb face the ceiling as if you're shaking someone's hand. Hold your balance here and draw the belly in. So you're using your core here. Lengthen through all 4 corners of your torso and reach the crown of the head towards the front of the rope. Find the energy up through the right arm. And then exhale, release the hand, release the leg. We'll do the other side. Extend the left leg out, hip height, square the hips, point the left toes down. Extend the right arm out, shoulder height, thumb face the ceiling as if you're shaking someone's hand. Now find the energy drawing up through the left arm. Hug the belly in so you're not arching in the lower back. Broaden through the collarbones. And you might want to roll your left hip down so you're squaring the frontal hip bones, nice and even. Then release the hand, release the leg. Bring the big toes together, knees as wide as your torso. Send your hips towards your heels. And then find your way into child's pose. Stay here for a couple breaths. And as you breathe, just know that child's pose is here at any moment during your practice. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Now extend your fingers forward. So walk your fingertips about 2 inches forward. Root your palms down into the mat. Lift the forearms off the mat and firm the outer arms in. Now look between your hands and make sure that your hands are shoulder distance apart and your index finger is facing the front of the room. Now come to tabletop position, tuck the toes, and lift your hips up and back for your first downward facing dog. Have your feet hips distance apart, your hands shoulder distance apart. Walk your dog, bending one knee and then the other. As you root through the circumference of your hand, lift the forearms off the mat, firm the outer arms in, and keep bending the knees. Now find some stillness in your downward facing dog. Now if you're rounding your upper back, you can have a slight bend in the knees to lengthen the spine. And if not, just press both thigh bones back to release the heels down, wherever you're at in your practice. Now, a couple more breaths here in your downward facing dog as you gaze between the feet to lengthen the back of your neck. Come up on your tiptoes, bend your knees, and step to the front of the mat. For Uttanasana forward fold, we're separating our feet hips distance apart, and then bend the knees because this is our first forward fold for the day. So release the crown of the head, bend the knees, and lengthen the torso. So lengthen the spine. You can clasp your elbows and rock side to side. Shake yes and no. And then switch the crossing of your elbow, rock side to side, shake yes and no. Feel the gravity pull your upper back down as you exhale, releasing all tension. Then release your hands down. Inhale halfway for Ardha Uttanasana and hold here for Ardha Uttanasana. You can have your hands on the mat, gently on your shins or onto blocks to create more space. Now from here in your Ardha Uttanasana, you're drawing the belly in, reaching the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Find some length in your side waist and broaden through the collarbones. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Now if your legs are straight, you're going to be shifting weight into the balls of the feet. If your legs are bent, then shift your weight a little bit and just find the even weight into your feet. Releasing the crown of the head. Inhale halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more times. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Place your hands on your hips. Elbows point out towards the ceiling. Bend your knees, tuck your chin, and then roll yourself vertebrae by vertebrae all the way to standing. And let your head come up last so you don't have a head rush. Now from here, you're going to grab one of your blocks and you're going to place the block on the inside of your thighs, the skinny way. Not too high, not too low. You want to be able to have a little bit of more mobility. So come to the front of the mat, root down in the 4 corners of your feet, lift the kneecaps up. And you feel a gentle roll, your inner roll of the block. And you're hugging the outer hips into the midline, so you're squeezing that block in between your thighs. Now, if you're arching in the lower back, lift the frontal hip bones up and release the tailbone down. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, palms face up with your hands by your hips. Palms face the front of the room, not up. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Parallel your arms, palms face each other for Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Then exhale, forward fold for Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Lift the belly in and up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back. Parallel your arms. Now from here with your arms parallel, keep reaching through your fingertips, firming the outer arms in. And then as you keep reaching, your palms may touch. Your head will drop back naturally. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Now we'll do Utkatasana. So inhale, sit back for Utkatasana, chair pose. Squeeze that block. Put more weight into the heels, so you're shifting your weight back. Lift the frontal hip bones up and release the tailbone down so you're not arching in the lower back. So you're hugging the belly in. Firm the outer arms in. Reach your fingertips up. Broaden through the collarbones and sink a little deeper. One more breath here. Sink a little deeper. And then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Straighten the legs. Release the crown of the head. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back. Palms may touch, look up if your neck allows it. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to do some calf raises here. So you can keep your hands to heart center, or you can inhale, lift your arms up to the sky, parallel your arms, palms face each other. From here, you're going to inhale, lift onto your toes, squeeze the inner block, and then exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, lift the heels, come onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And if you fall out, that's okay. Find your balance. Inhale, lift your heels up. Come on the balls of the feet. Hold here. One more breath here as you lift and find your balance. Feel the calves burn. And exhale, release your hands down to heart center. Find your breath here. Release the block off to the side. Now bring your big toes together, heels slightly apart. If you have lower back problems, you'll separate your feet hip distance apart. If you have tight hamstrings, separate your feet hip distance apart. If not, big toes together, heels slightly apart. Find your Tadasana. Take your hands by your side, palms face the front of the room. Inhale your arms up to the sky, palms may touch. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back, palms may touch. Firm the outer arms in. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do it 2 more times, half sun salutes. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back, palms may touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we'll do Surya Namaskar A, but we'll modify it. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands down to the mat. Step your feet into plank pose. Place both knees on the mat for modified plank and hold modified plank. Draw the belly in, broaden through the collarbones. Your wrists are right underneath your shoulders. And release the tailbone down towards your heels. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down halfway for modified chaturanga, hugging the elbows into the midline. And then exhale, release down, chin, chest, and belly. We'll come into low cobra, so place your hands by your lower ribs, press the tops of the feet down into the mat, and lift your kneecaps up. Inhale, coil your chest off the mat for low cobra. Hold low cobra. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, hug the outer arms into the midline, and point your elbows behind you. Gaze down to lengthen the back of your neck, and then exhale, release. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale, coil your chest up for low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale here. Exhale, tuck the toes. Lift your lower ribs off the mat and come into tabletop position. Then exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now root down in the circumference of your hand. Put a little bit more weight in the index finger and thumb. Lift the forearms off the mat and firm the outer arms in. And press both thigh bones back to release the heels down. So you're lengthening the tailbone away from the crown of the head. One more breath here. Then come up on your tiptoes, bend your knees. On the end of your exhale, you're going to step your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back. Palms may touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we'll go into a variation of chair pose. So separate your feet hip distance apart. Parallel your feet. Keep your hands to heart center. And inhale. Sit back for Utkatasana chair pose. Put more weight into the heels and shift your weight back. Release the tailbone down so you're not arching in the lower back, so you're drawing the belly in. Broaden through the collarbones. And then exhale, lean your chest forward. Reach the crown of the head towards the front of the room so you're gazing down at the mat. Come light on your right toes, so you're pressing into the left foot. And then you're going to step your right foot back, high lunge. Now you can always use your 2 blocks here for a little bit more support. Place both hands on the mat. Release the back leg down. Untuck the back toes and come into Anjaneyasana. Now take a few breaths here in Anjaneyasana. Pull that left hip back, right hip forward. Lift the frontal hip bones up and release the tailbone down as you lengthen the spine up towards the ceiling. Reach the fingertips up. Firm the outer arms in. One more breath here. And then you're scissoring in your inner thighs. We're coming into crescent pose. So heel toe the front foot towards the left if you feel like you're in a tightrope. Then tuck the back toes. Lift the back leg up for crescent pose. So you're charging that left glute. From here in your crescent pose, scissor in the inner thighs, release the tailbone down. Bend in the back leg so you can stack the torso over the hips. Reach to the fingertips as you soften the lower ribs in. Now when you're ready, you can straighten the back leg. Put more weight into the front heel. One more breath here as your right heel is lifted off the mat. And then exhale, release your hands down. Inhale here. Exhale, step the right foot to meet the left at the front of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back. Hands to heart center. Now we'll do the other side. So inhale, sit back for Utkatasana chair pose. Put more weight into the heels. Send your hips back. Lift the frontal hip bones up. Broaden through the collarbones. Now exhale, lean forward, gaze down towards the mat. Come light on your left toes, press weight into the right foot, and step your left foot back, high lunge. Place both hands on the mat. Release the back leg down. Inhale, rise up for Anjaneyasana, so you're untucking the back toes. Hold here for Anjaneyasana, take a few breaths here. Pull that right hip back, left hip forward. Lift the frontal hip bones up and release the tailbone down. Lengthen through all four corners of your torso and keep externally rotating the outer upper arms in to the midline. Gaze forward. One more breath here. Now, if you heel-toed the front foot towards the right, do so now so you don't feel like you're on a tightrope. We're coming into crescent pose. So tuck the back toes, lift the back knee off the mat, and come into crescent. Press more weight into the front heel. Left heel is lifted off the mat, so you're balancing on the left ball of the foot. Bend in the back knee so you can stack the torso over the hips. Lift the frontal hip bones up and release the tailbone down. Then press the left thigh bone back nice and straight whenever you can. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling and soften the lower ribs in. One more breath here. Find some power in the legs. And then exhale, release the hands down. And then inhale here. Exhale, step the left to meet the right at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back, palms may touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we'll do it one more time, but we'll add some crescent lunges. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Release the crown of the head. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back, palms may touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sit back for Utkatasana chair pose. Put more weight into the heels. Feet are hips distance apart and parallel. From here, lift the frontal hip bones up. Draw the belly in. Lift the chest. One more breath here. And then exhale, lean your chest forward so the chest is facing down towards the mat as you gaze down. Come light on your right toes. Put more weight into the left foot. Step the right foot back, high lunge. Place both hands on the mat. So instead of going from low lunge, we're going to go right into crescent pose. So if you feel like you're in a tight rope, then heel toe the left foot towards the left. Now come light onto your fingertips. Draw the belly in and hug the left hip into the midline. So you're using that left glute. Broaden through the collarbones. And then inhale, lift your arms up for crescent pose. You can have a slight bend in the back knee. Stack the torso over the hips. Release the tailbone down. When you're ready, you can straighten the back leg. Place your hands to heart center. So inhale here in your crescent. Exhale, lower your back knee down, hover the mat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend in the front knee, lower the back leg, hover the mat, 2 inches. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower down, hover the mat. Inhale, press into that front foot, lift up. Exhale, lower down, hover your knee on the mat. Inhale, lift back up. And then exhale, place your hands down onto the mat. Inhale here in your high lunge. Exhale, step the right to meet the left. Inhale, halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. Draw the belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Release the crown of the head. Inhale, touch the side of the room. Rise up with a flat back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we'll do the other side. So inhale, sit back for Utkatasana, chair pose. Place your hands to heart center. Stay here for a moment as you shift weight into the heels. Draw the belly in. And then exhale, lean your chest forward, gaze down at the mat. Reach the crown of the head towards the front of the room. Come light on your left toes. Hug the right hip in. And step the left toes back, high lunge. Place both hands on the mat. Make sure that the right knee is tracking in line with the right ankle. Hold here for a moment as you draw the belly in. Hug the right hip into the midline. Come light on your fingertips. And inhale, lift up for crescent pose. Reach your fingertips up to the sky. Have a slight bend in the back knee. Make sure that the front knee is tracking in line with the front ankle. And then lift the frontal hip bones up. Release the tailbone down. Lift through the back ribs. So inhale here. You can even place your hands to heart center wherever you're at in your practice. Inhale here. Exhale, bend in the front knee. Lower the back leg down. Hover the mat 2 inches. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower down. Hug the right hip in. And then go, come back up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift up, press into the front heel. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lower your hands down towards the mat. Come into your high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, step the left to meet the right to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with the flat back. Palms may touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now stay here in Tadasana for a moment. Gently close the eyes. Connect with your breath. Connect with your body. Now we'll do Surya Namaskar A. You're more than welcome to modify your poses like we did in the beginning. So release your hands by your hips, palms face the front of the room. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant your hands next to your feet. Step back into plank pose. Shoulders in line with the wrists, draw the belly in. Broaden through the collarbones and press both thigh bones up towards the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the elbows and shift forward for Chaturanga. Inhale, flip the toes, straighten the elbows. Draw the shoulders away from the ears for upward facing dog. Thighs and hips should be off the mat unless you are modifying. Then exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here as you connect with your body and connect with your breath. Become aware of your body. Keep rooting down in the circumference of your hand, lifting the forearms off the mat and firming the outer arms in. At the end of your fifth exhale, come up on your tiptoes, bend your knees, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back, palms may touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale, your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Draw the belly in. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands down, step back into plank pose. Shoulders in line with the wrists. Exhale, bend the elbows, shift forward, and lower down halfway. Inhale, straighten the arms, flip the toes, come into upward facing dog. Thighs and hips should be off the mat. And then exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana as you press both thigh bones back to release the heels down. Gaze between the feet to lengthen the back of the neck. And keep firming the outer arms into the midline. At the end of your exhale, bend the knees and step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back, palms may touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more time. Inhale, your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands down, step your feet back into plank pose. Exhale, bend the elbows, shift forward halfway for Chaturanga. Inhale, flip the toes, straighten the elbows, draw the shoulders away from the ears for upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. As you connect with your breath, feel the heat. At the end of your 5th exhale, bend the knees, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, touch the side of the room, rise up with a flat back, palms may touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. So you're gonna grab your block and then come to the center of your mat, facing the long edge. Step your feet wide apart. We're coming into goddess pose. So take your heels in, toes out. Then bend in your goddess squat. Take your arms out in front of you with a block and then squeeze the block, pressing the palms into the block. So from here in goddess pose, you're curling the tailbone under, pressing the knees apart so the knees are not caving in. You're putting more weight into the heels. So you're gonna inhale, straighten the legs, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, squat down, bring the arms forward. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms up overhead. Exhale, squat down into goddess pose, bring the arms forward. Inhale, and exhale, squat down, bend the knees, arms forward. From here in your goddess pose, you're going to pulse. Keep curling the tailbone under. Make sure the knees are not caving in. Pulse. Hug the glutes. Hug the outer hips in. Draw the belly in. This is too hard with the block. You can always release the block down. 1 more breath here. And then straighten the legs. Release the block. From here, you're going to Take the heels out, toes in, so you're pigeon-toed. If you need to widen your stance, you can. From here, hands on your hips. Hug the ankles in, the outer ankles in, so they're not sickling. Lift the kneecaps up. Release the tailbone down so you're not arching the lower back. Roll the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Point the elbows behind you. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Place the hands down in front of you with your hands underneath your shoulders. Breathe here as you broaden through the collarbones. Reach the crown of the head towards the side of the room. Hug the belly in. Lift the kneecaps up. Now you can stay here or you can forward fold, wherever you're at in your practice. And if you're forward folding, you can always grab the outside of your ankles. Shift weight into the balls of the feet so that the sit bones are in line with the heels. Lift the kneecaps up. Release the crown of the head. And draw the shoulders up away from your ears. And take one more breath here. Exhale out all the air. Then walk your hands forward, come in halfway. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, shoulder distance apart. From here, broaden through the collarbones. Draw the belly in, so you're using your core here. Hug the outer ankles in and squeeze the inner thighs as if you're squeezing a beach ball in between your thighs. Place the hands on the hips, elbows point up towards the ceiling, and inhale, rise up to stand. Bend one knee and then the other, and walk your feet together. We'll stand to the front of the mat. Big toes together, heels slightly apart. Find your Tadasana mountain pose. Just take a breath here. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, what I want you to do is I want you to bend your knees, come up on your tiptoes, separate your knees wide apart, and then roll onto your sit bones. We'll find our way onto our sit bones. And then come into Navasana pose, so boat pose. So you're going to parallel your shins and then take your arms to the side, palms face each other, use your core. Now if you're rounding in your upper back like this, I want you to press your shoulder blades into the chest to broaden through the collarbones. So you're using your core here, using your hip flexors. Find a little strength here. One more breath here. Gaze between the toes. And then release the feet down. Take your arms forward, feet flat on the mat, and then lower vertebrae by vertebrae. Find the strength in your core and lower your back down onto the mat. And once you find your way onto your back, bring your knees towards your chest for Apanasana, rock side to side. Then release the feet down onto the mat. We're going to go into figure four. So cross the right ankle over the left thigh, flex the right toes. Then with the strength of your legs, bring your knees towards your chest and clasp behind your left hamstring. Keep flexing the right toes to protect the knee. As you press the right elbow into your right thigh, you're giving your glute a little bit of a stretch. Take a couple breaths here. Now in your figure four, make sure that your shoulder blades and the back of your head are gently pressing into the mat. So you're not lifting, you're extending. You're finding the length in your spine. And release the feet, uncross the legs. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Flex the left toes with the strength of your legs. Bring your knees towards your chest and clasp your hands behind your right hamstring. Press the left elbow into the left thigh for a deeper glute stretch. Bringing that knee closer. Take 2 more breaths here as you release the sacrum down, drawing the navel towards the spine. Then release the foot down, uncross the legs. We'll find our way into happy baby, grabbing the outside edges of our feet. Now feel a little bit of a difference here in your body after all that. As you pull your feet down, release the sacrum towards the mat. So the sacrum is your lower back. The sacrum is that triangular bone. And you're releasing that towards the mat, finding length in your spine. Bring your knees towards your chest, and we're going to do a twist. So you can do a simple twist, keeping the knees together, or you could cross the right knee over the left knee for eagle legs. So wherever you're at in your practice, whatever feels good to you, go with that. And take your arms like a T, palms face up. Reach your arms vigorously away from each other. Inhale behind your heart center, and exhale, release the knees towards the left elbow for a gentle or deep twist, wherever you're at. You can look up towards the ceiling, or you can look towards the right, and you can use your left hand to rather encourage your knees to stack, or if you have your legs crossed like me in eagle legs, just kind of gently push that leg down so it's a deeper stretch. One more breath here. As you inhale here, lengthen. Exhale, releasing that right hip away from the right shoulder. And then look up towards the ceiling. Keep the knees together and come back to center. Uncross the legs if you have them crossed. Cross the left knee over the right knee. Inhale here and exhale, release the knees towards the right elbow. You can look up towards the ceiling or look towards the left. Placing the right hand on your knees to encourage both knees to stack, or just gently pressing that knee down. As you inhale here, lengthen. And as you exhale, release the left hip away from the left shoulder. Finding a nice detox twist here. And gaze back up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, come back to center, uncross the legs if you have them crossed. Bring your knees towards your chest. Rock side to side, placing one hand on each shin. Massage the lower back, rolling the knees in a circle. Draw circles with your knees. And then draw circles the other direction. We'll do one more happy baby, why not? So grab the outside edges of your feet, knees wider than your torso. Your ankles are directly in line with your knees here. So they're not forward, they're directly over. So you're pressing your hands into the feet, pulling your knees down towards your armpits. One more breath here. And then exhale, bring your knees back to center together. Curl up into a tight, tiny ball. Hug yourself, use all the muscles in your body. Curl the tailbone, forehead towards the knees. One more breath here, and then exhale, release into your Shavasana. Bringing your legs wider than your hips, let your feet flop off to the side. Bring your palms facing up towards the ceiling, hands at a 40-degree angle or even wider. Snuggle your shoulder blades down your back to lift the chest. And release any pranayama breath. So just come back to regular breathing here. And as you inhale, feel the cold air in through the nostrils. And as you exhale, feel the warm air. Feel the rise of the belly and feel the belly fall. Soften the muscles in between your eyebrows. Soften the muscles around your eyes. Relax the cheeks, the jaw, the lips. Melt into the earth. For your Shavasana, so we're going to end class laying on our back, so deepen your breath. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And I want you to bring your hands together. Bring your thumbs to third eye in prayer position. Inhale here together. Exhale out through the mouth. Namaste. All right, everyone. That was your booty burning sequence. So if you liked my video, please like below. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, then please subscribe. And we'll see you next Thursday. Bye, everyone. Namaste.